On July 13, 2026, the film world said goodbye to Sir Sam Neill. He will always be remembered as Dr. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park, a wonderful actor and a true gentleman. But today, we should also remember another, Sam Neill, the man who could look directly at his pet pig and calmly comment on its private parts as if he were narrating a nature documentary.
Tiger a girl or a boy?
Tiger's a boy.
Cool. Oh, hello.
Tiger's got enormous balls. Good
I'm
boy.
a bit scared of pigs.
Sam Neill never had to try to be funny. He only had to say exactly what was passing through his mind. And unfortunately for any host sitting across from him, almost none of those thoughts were kept inside. Looking at Sam Neill, you might assume he was the kind of actor who carefully considered every word. He had the deep voice, the dignified manner, and the appearance of a man who could lecture you for 3 hours about dinosaurs, Shakespeare, or wine. But that seriousness only made the things he said more dangerous. When asked whether he hired people to take care of his farm, Sam did not offer a polite answer about his staff. He quickly destroyed the image of a Hollywood star living in luxury.
No, your property.
Oh, my property.
Not your ass. Do you tend to this garden or do you have slaves that do it?
It's all my own work. That's why it's all weeds.
That was what made Sam special. He could appear in movies worth hundreds of millions of dollars, then return to New Zealand to clean stalls, drive a tractor and argue with a pig. Hollywood made him famous. But the farm was where Sam Neill was allowed to become the strangest version of himself. And on that farm, the animals did not merely have names. They were named after famous people he had met.
You know, I have about 30 to 40 lambs every year, for instance, and I can't find happy homes for all of them, to be honest. I really want to, but I do name a lot of my animals as an insurance policy.
A normal person might name a cow Daisy or Bella. Sam Neill looked at an animal weighing hundreds of pounds and thought of Graham Norton. It was not exactly an insult, but it was certainly not an honor Graham had ever requested.
I already have about 24 chickens, so now I'm up to 36, I think, at last count. It's at least 36. So there's a gang of them out there, and they all think I'm wonderful. So it's like having Tom Jones fans, actually.
Sam told the story with the pride of a man unveiling a monument. Meanwhile, Graham had to sit there listening as his name was given to a bull. And Sam was not finished.
Yeah, we have chickens. We have 2 chickens.
Just the 2?
Just the 2.
What are they called?
One's changed its name a few times, Bright Bomber, and then it was Bob, and then the notorious chicken, Cockerel, both cockerels, wanted layers, got cockerels. It's like potluck.
Jimmy Nesbitt also had an animal named after him. But not every actor was delighted to discover that their namesake was living in the mud on Sam's farm.
There were 2 brothers that owned this land some time ago that stopped talking. They lived in a big house. They bricked it up. One lived at one end, the other at the other, and they didn't speak until they died.
The funny thing was that Sam genuinely did not seem to understand why they were offended. In his mind, naming an animal after you was an expression of affection. It was simply a kind of affection that sometimes had horns, ate grass, and left behind things Sam had to clean up himself.
And so this is the reimagining of the original Rams movie, which was set in Iceland. But you said that actually this version is just a springboard for it.
Yes, I think that's where we started. I've got reservations about the little trailer you just saw because it looks like a sort of jolly jape. It's actually much more nuanced than that. It's kind of touching, a little bit sad sometimes. But I sort of think of it not so much as a feel-good film, but a feel-better film. You feel better after you've seen it.
Sam's honesty never felt cruel. He was not trying to embarrass anyone. He simply saw no reason to wrap the truth in beautiful paper. Even while sitting beside Annette Bening, Sam was perfectly happy to reveal that he had once named a pig after her.
And I thought, why aren't there more people in the water here at this beautiful canal? There's something called a bull shark.
Oh, I'm aware. Yeah.
Okay, bull sharks have adapted, so they can survive in fresh or
Like
salt
lakes
water.
or ocean. Yeah.
And they bite you and kill you.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Annette could choose to take it as a compliment, or she could choose never to visit Sam's farm. Either way, Sam appeared completely satisfied with his decision.
And then just an hour away was the rainforest. And so we'd gone up there to shoot some of the story. And sure enough, somebody said, there's a python out here.
This is a very difficult kind of humor to imitate. If another actor deliberately said these things, the audience might feel that they were performing. But Sam spoke as though all of it were essential information. The pig's name, the size of the cow, the condition of Taika's private parts. Everything was delivered in exactly the same calm voice. And sometimes, the host was even stranger than he was. Anika Moa visited Sam's home, asked questions most professional reporters would never dare to ask, and then pulled him into something resembling a rugby tackle.
What role did you miss out on that pisses you off the most and still hurts to this very day?
The only part I ever regret turning down was Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. But I think it would have been a hoot to be a drag queen for a few weeks.
Yeah.
With another actor, the moment might have become uncomfortable. With Sam, it looked like a fairly normal afternoon in New Zealand. He joined the joke, made several questionable noises, and left the entire crew unsure whether they were filming an interview or witnessing a workplace accident.
Well, there's still
I probably would have been quite good. Do you think I could have
I don't know.
pulled it off?
I don't know.
Sam had a rare ability to do completely ridiculous things while still appearing dignified. That was also why his Jurassic Park stories were always so entertaining. In the movie, Alan Grant had to face prehistoric creatures capable of tearing human beings apart. In real life, Sam faced an even more frightening challenge, sitting beside his son during a screening attended by Princess Diana.
Do you mind watching yourself like kissing on TV?
It's kind of mortifying. You know, if you have to kiss someone live on television, it might as well be Annette Bening.
Yes, exactly.
Who's such a warm and wonderful person, and it was a privilege to work with her.
It should have been one of the most formal nights of his life. A major movie. A special premiere. Princess Diana sitting nearby. Then Sam's son began passing gas. Not just once. The way Sam described it, the boy nearly turned the screening into a chemical attack.
Tell us how you got into this project. It has everything, suspense, drama. What attracted you to the project?
It has all those things, and it's got Annette Bening. But also, it's one of those things, you pick up a script and you really want to read the next one. That's what I think people will do when they're watching the series. They'll stay up later than they should because they need to know what happens next.
Many stars might tell that story while softening the details. Sam used the phrase, fart unreasonably. Those two words were enough to turn a royal memory into the most embarrassing family story imaginable.
Everybody talks about how good it is. You play a retired tennis coach. Your character's at the top of his league. Did you ever play tennis in real life?
No, I have to confess, I needed a lot of help. And we got it. You know, I had to really look like the dominant guy that would take your teeth out on a tennis court.
So how did you train?
That was zero filter, Sam Neill style. He did not tell only the parts that made him look good. He told the strangest, most specific, and most difficult to explain part, even when the story involved one of the most famous movies ever made. And when Graham Norton suggested recreating the classic Jurassic Park scene, Sam did not immediately become a serious star protecting his cinematic legacy. He allowed John Bishop to play the dinosaur.
Just waving it like this, and you know, you have to look as stunned as It's not easy, this stuff, is it?
Ewan McGregor tried to stay in character. John Bishop crawled around the studio, and Sam stood in the middle of it all with the expression Alan Grant might have worn if Alan Grant had completely lost faith in science.
Well, no, but that's like a masterclass in amazement. Now, I'm going to ask Miranda a question, and I think I know the answer. Would you like to do a bit of acting with Sam Neill?
No. Yes, what do you mean? Yeah.
Okay, so...
The best part was that Sam never tried to steal the attention. He simply reacted. One disbelieving look, one dry observation, or one pause held slightly too long was enough to make the audience laugh.
Stupid things. Who brought them back? If you, using your vocal training...
Do a little bit of dinosaur noise.
Bit of dinosaur noise.
Okay.
He understood that sometimes the funniest way to handle chaos was not to fight it. Just stand there, watch a grown man pretend to be a dinosaur, then make the most honest observation possible.
By the way, this is the most exciting part of the show for me. The whole of the UK is on the edge of their seats now because here is a man who is doing one job and talking about something else. This is impossible.
Multitasking.
Multitasking.
Sam had no need to turn every disappointment into a legend. He was willing to admit that some movies had failed, that some roles were not right for him, and that even he did not understand some of his career decisions.
In there, but you can do it. But we could be seeing an industrial accident at any point.
It could be actually, yeah.
Anyway, back to me.
It could be that. Yeah, I mean, so what was the moment for you? Because was there something that your dad said, you don't want to be going into the acting? He wasn't anti it, but he didn't want you to do it.
Well,
did he,
no,
really?
he just let me have a job, really.
A Hollywood star is usually trained to promote every project as though it were a masterpiece. Sam could openly describe one of his own films as the absolute low point of his career. He did not insist that you had to love everything he had ever done. Sometimes it seemed that even he did not love all of it.
Because he was, what was he? He was in the army?
He was an army man, yeah.
So what was that like growing up for you? Because you grew up in Ireland, didn't you?
My first 7 years were in Ireland, and then we went back to New Zealand. So we travelled around a lot, and I think it's true of a lot of actors. They have sort of slightly disrupted childhoods.
Even when discussing wine, a subject he took very seriously, Sam could not keep the conversation completely respectable. He owned 2 Paddocks, understood the winemaking process, and could talk about grapes longer than most of us could remain sober enough to listen. But in the end, the clearest benefit of making wine was very simple. It occasionally got him drunk.
Sam.
Hey, wow.
All right, well, here we go. It's cocktail hour somewhere, Mr. Cocktail.
Oh, you want me to do it?
That may have been the most honest advertisement a winemaker could possibly offer. Nothing about oak, complex notes, or a long finish. Just this: the work costs a great deal of money, but occasionally you get to drink.
Hey, congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
Do you ever get sick of this work you do? You blokes just actually live together because you do work together. How many films you made together now?
5 films we've made together.
Last time we saw you, Sam, was of course at the Logies. You were very good at the Logies.
Was I?
Yes, you were extraordinarily good.
You were better at the Logies.
I don't think that's true.
I was at Logies, everyone.
When drinking with Bryan Brown, Sam no longer looked like the star of Jurassic Park. He looked like the uncle at the far end of the dinner table who had decided the entire room needed to hear one more detail nobody had asked for.
It was 4 pieces of fish like that, and chips for a bob.
You are old Sam, aren't you?
Thank you, Brian.
This movie. You blokes are old friends, you used to be in a band together. You're living in Palm Beach, you've made a mozza along the way.
Yeah.
You invite your friends together for a birthday of an undisclosed age. Mm-hmm. What is the undisclosed?
Significant age.
Significant age.
Bryan understood the rhythm. He only had to let Sam keep talking. Because the longer Sam was allowed to continue, the more likely the story was to turn toward a place nobody could have predicted.
It's really annoying when you're trying to sleep, isn't it? Boo.
Most guests would try to avoid offending millions of cat lovers. Sam had no such instinct for self-preservation. He presented his opinion like a man who had just completed several years of scientific research.
This is Boo, the cat that hates me.
In Sam's world, dogs had loyalty. Pigs had personality. Cows had the names of famous actors. And cats appeared to be quietly planning something against humanity.
See what I mean? Because I do things like...
But behind all that honesty was something deeply lovable. Sam never behaved as though he were more important than anyone else. He could be an international movie star and still describe himself as a farmer, a winemaker who did not make much money, and an actor who remained surprised whenever someone gave him an award.
4 on the back. This would have been 4 in a row without any break in between any of them. And I knew I'd be really exhausted by the end of it. And then I read the script and I was very encouraged by the tone of it and by the sort of, I describe it as a not a feel-good film, but a feel-better film. I sort of felt.
That was why his humor never felt calculated. Sam did not walk into an interview carrying a list of punchlines. He brought stories about cows, pigs, wine, terrible movies, children passing gas in front of royalty, and whatever strange thought happened to enter his mind. Then he delivered all of it with the most serious face in Hollywood.
No, and Michael Caton, who plays my estranged brother in it, is an old friend of mine. So I thought, yeah, I think I will do this. I think this is something I should do. And now that it's been on release in Australia and New Zealand, and people have seen it, it's done very well here. I've had great feedback. It's such a warm kind of response to it that I'm very pleased that I committed to it, and I decided I would go there.
Sam Neill played men who faced dinosaurs, submarines, demons, and the darkest corners of the human mind. But away from the screen, He did not need special effects to make audiences remember him. All he needed was a pig, a glass of wine, and a sentence that probably should have been considered for another 5 seconds before being spoken aloud. Sam's passing has cost the film world a great actor, but these moments remind us that behind Alan Grant, behind the serious performances, and behind the title of Sir, was a warm, strange, and wonderfully honest man who was impossible not to love. Sam Neill never tried to be the funniest person in the room. He simply refused to pretend. And sometimes, the truth delivered with a completely serious face is the funniest joke of all. Rest in peace, Sir Sam Neill. Thank you for the movies, the stories, and all the details that perhaps nobody ever asked for. Leave your favorite Sam Neill moment in the comments below. And do not forget to like and subscribe as we continue remembering the stars who made Hollywood funnier, stranger, and more human.